So Crypto Universe, I'm back with another update. I'm bullish. You should be too. Let's get right into it. This is a story from Decrypt. Senate stablecoin bill passes keynote as Genius Act regains momentum. The Genius Act passed the cloture vote Monday evening, less than 2 weeks after failing one. It will now head to a full floor vote. Against all odds, the Senate stablecoin bill has regained momentum, passing a key procedural vote Monday evening that has set the legislation on track for passage within days. Less than 2 weeks ago, the bill, dubbed the Genius Act, failed to pass the same procedural cloture vote, which ends debate on measure and advances it towards full floor consideration. At the time, a perfect storm of political winds conspired to derail support for the bill among pro-crypto Democrats, chief among them mounting anger in the Democratic Party over President Trump's perceived crypto-related conflicts of interest, which, quick side note, they're obviously referring to the Trump meme coin and in that whole situation, as well as Elon Musk and Doge, and President Trump being close to Elon Musk. But continuing, but tonight, key Democrats jumped back aboard the measure. Ruben Gallego out of Arizona, Mark Warner out of Virginia, Lisa Blunt Rochester out of Pennsylvania, Kristen Gillibrand out of New York, and Angela also Brooks out of Maryland, all of whom voted against cloture on the Genius Act earlier this month, supported the measure tonight. Also, Brooks and Gillibrand initially co-sponsored the bill. Having received more than 60 votes, the bill will now cruise towards a full floor vote, which could happen as soon as tomorrow. One Senate source familiar with the matter told Decrypt, if all goes according to plan, the vote on the bill itself should see the same margin of passage as tonight's procedural vote. The bill would then need to pass a vote in the House before heading to Trump's desk. If signed into law, the Genius Act would establish framework for legally issuing stablecoins in the United States. Now, this is major for obvious reasons. You're talking about actually seeing legislation that would lead to framework that would make it comfortable for stablecoins to become a normalized part of society, and also an option that would make it easier for the dollar to maintain dominance, because as this inevitable reality approaches faster and faster in regards to a digital asset dominated planet where people are paying through digital currencies, getting on the stablecoin train as early as possible, so people are just used to using stablecoins that are attached to whatever the perceived value of the US dollar is, it's the best possible route. Many people have been saying this in the crypto space for years now, and to see that it may possibly start to really come to fruition within the next couple of days or weeks, that's definitely exciting to see. I know in crypto, often we think about how we want to escape the powers that be and all these governments, and obviously I want freedom just like everybody else. However, realistically, for us to get the moon bags that we want, there is gonna be this necessary growing pains. This isn't even growing pains, it's just necessary a necessary process that would allow for the regular person, aka the normies, to get on board with this, because once they get on board, at that point the money coming in, the floodgates will completely open. Speaking of normies getting involved, Cointelegraph put up a report, and it's saying that Robinhood submits SEC proposal to regulate tokenized real-world assets, aiming to bring Wall Street on chain and unlock a $30 trillion market. Now, I don't trust anything related to Robinhood. I'm sure many of you, if you're familiar with crypto, if you've already been around, I'm sure you remember the days in the early 2020s of Wall Street bets and seeing Robinhood screw over so many people, where so many people that got in on the GameStop stock at a certain point were they literally stopped them from making any money, which to this day, that's one of the most evil things I've ever seen. But again, regardless of what I think, and regardless of the fact that there's many superior alternatives to trade stocks on outside of Robinhood, regardless of any of that, the normies are gonna flock to Robinhood because it's just the most popular. And again, this goes back to real world adoption and why it's gonna be so important, because you're talking about, if Robinhood gets what they want from the SEC, you're talking about potentially trillions of dollars flooding in, which would make a big difference, at least for us. Maybe not for the next group of people that try to get in because they may get in too late, but that's none of our concern at this point. So the next story here is a report from Crypto Briefing, and it reads, SEC Chairman Paul Atkins says he wants the commission to allow registrants to custody and trade both securities and non-securities under one roof. And you can see this is a screenshot from a person on social media called Meta Lawman. But the tweet reads, "This is a big deal." I agree, but it reads, "This is a big deal. Think crypto trading on NASDAQ and stock trading on Coinbase." So again, this goes back to the real world adoption and the normies, aka the regular people who don't care about crypto or don't even know about crypto, them getting involved. Once it gets to the point where it all starts to become one and the same, I believe that's going to be massive, and it's something to be extremely excited and bullish about.